Chantel, as of now, where does Josh Rosen stand in the quarterback battle over at UCLA?
Well, currently Josh Rosen and Jerry Neuheisel are kind of divvying up the first team reps with the Bruins, but one of my favorite Freudian slips of the summer was when Jim Mora came to Pac-12 Media Days, and he's talking about how Virginia was blitzing Brett Hundley so much last season. They're saying, you know, they're doing this to a third-year guy. What are they going to do to a guy who's never taken a snap before? And all the reporters in the room were kind of like, never taken a snap before. I thought it was an open quarterback battle. The only guy who hasn't taken a snap before would be Josh Rosen. And then Mora kind of backtracked a little bit and he said, well, never started a game before. You're like, okay, so he kind of cleaned up those ends. But I think it's pretty clear and it's pretty obvious. All the reports coming out of UCLA is that Josh Rosen is the better quarterback. I would be surprised if he's not starting day one, but the coaches are going to wait 5 or 6 practices in to sort of assess how they are divvying up those snaps, and we'll see if at that point Rosen does start working with the first team more.
Across town, many have tabbed USC as a potential playoff team. What is the biggest question facing Steve Sarkisian's squad as we go into the fall?
It's pretty basic. Can they finish a football game? They lost 2 games last year on the final play of the game. If they beat Utah, if they beat Arizona State last year, they're playing in the Pac-12 championship game and possibly the college football playoffs. So can Sarkisian get these guys to play 4 full quarters and close out those games? We'll see if they do. I think they definitely they can earn themselves a way into that conversation.
What has the resurgence of both Arizona and Arizona State meant to the Pac-12?
Well, it's just sort of this resurgence of a rivalry game that everyone wants to see. Rivalries are not only good for the Pac-12 South or for the Pac-12, this is good for college football. You look at teams like Michigan and Ohio State, the 10-year war, that wasn't just about the Big Ten, that was about college football as a whole. And so when you can have a game, 2 in-state rivals playing on one of the last weekends in November, and the game actually means something not just to the South, not just to the Pac-12, but people from all over the country are turning in to watch Arizona and Arizona State play, that's big.
Thomas Tyner potentially out for the season at Oregon. What's the impact over in Eugene?
Well, to be honest, he's a fantastic running back, but there's not as much of an impact as maybe you would think when your second or third string running back goes down. Their stable of running backs is just the envy of any college football coach right now, because you have Royce Freeman, who's the starter, obviously, and Byron Marshall, who played a lot of wide receiver last year, played a lot of running back. He can take more carries if they need him to. But past those two, they still have 2 or 3 guys who could probably be battling for other starting running back jobs in the Pac-12. You have Kene Benoit, who had a good spring and sounds like he's off to a really good fall camp. Tony Brooks-James, and then the highly touted recruit, Taj Griffin. So obviously, Tyner, it's a blow to the Oregon running back corps, but you kind of look at it and it doesn't really matter in the long run.